Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump in here real quick, because I'm not really into like celebrities, media or celebrity gossip, but I kind of wanted to come on here and talk about Keke Palmer and her um domestic situation with her and her Darius Jackson. And first I wanna, I am sending prayers to Keke and her son's protection. Um, but this topic is, it's been heavy on me because domestic violence against Black women is big. Um, uh, I think about the femicide rate, and I just want Black women to just be careful of who we partner with or who we date. Um, you know, there's a whole debate when it comes to like vetting and all that, but I don't know. I just this really hit home for me, and it hit home for me too because um yes, Jackson, that whole Usher situation, we all saw the controlling, the misogynistic, and his manipulative ways throughout, during that situation, but the fact that Keke Palmer was going through this and she was just putting on the safe faces, it's not really surprising because I feel like Black women, we are used to just having to just push through. And it's really sad that, she was going through all of this and none of us really, we didn't know about it. I mean, we knew he was something was wrong with him, um clearly, um and I just want Black women, young girls, um, to be careful of who you are, in a relationship with. Um, I also, and this is just for me. This is not just for me. This is also for me. Excuse me. This is also for me. Especially when you are a person has who experienced trauma, who experienced narcissistic abuse as a kid, who grew up in a very toxic environment as a kid. As you get older, you can be prone to be in these toxic relationships because they tend to be very familiar. You know, they tend, and you overlook the red flags because some of them red flags seem like they don't feel or look like red flags. You know what I mean? Like, when if you grew up in a household where you were constantly gaslit, um, you know, if you're not aware of, codependency, all that stuff. I'm not trying to be on here preaching, but um, just to, and this is an eye opener for me too. It is an eye opener for me too to be careful of who you allow into your space and who you allow to date because these domestic violence cases and femicide rates are insane. They're insane. And yeah, I just wanted to come on here and just talk about it. This kind of also makes me think about the Meg the Stallion situation and how, everybody was just coming for Meg. And also when I remember hearing that Meg did not want to call the police on Tory Lanez because she did not want him to be harmed. And that's a very, very like that's not and I hear that a lot even within my family of Black women not wanting to protecting their abuser basically and not wanting to call the police because they don't want them to be harmed. No, if you are in danger, you call the police. You call the damn cops. Because even while we're being abused, we are still feel like we have to protect others, even while we are being abused. I'm sending prayers to Keke Palmer and the safety of her and her son. Um, and I just and they say it takes a person 7 times before they decide to actually leave. But I'm happy Keke Palmer um she got out of it. I hope she stays out of it. I hope she protects herself. I think a lot of women need to start working on getting our licenses to carry because at this point it's either us or them in these situations. You know, it's really it's insane. Um, I think it's important to when you are when you're dating or if you are in a relationship to um, and this is stuff that I'm no longer dating, but this is stuff that I'm also gonna take within myself when I if or whatever I do decide paying attention to how they interact with their families. I feel like there's a lot of like things that a lot of black women were not told to look for when dating. Um, you know what I mean? The relationships between whoever you're dating that they have with their parents. Is the person you're dating have they ever been to therapy? Do they acknowledge their trauma? And if they do, um, you know, what are some coping skills that they're doing to get from their trauma? Are they still if they live in a abusive or toxic environment? Are they still in relationship with that parent, or are they setting boundaries with that parent? These are a lot of things that we also have to start looking into too, because apparently Darius Jackson's brother came out saying that you know he is abusive. But then it makes you think, well, I mean, how's the family dynamic? Clearly, what's going on in the family dynamic. But we don't, we're not thinking to like look for these signs and ask these type of questions when we are, getting into next year with partners and being careful of who we decide to have kids by. Everybody always want to talk about, oh, women trap, but nobody wants to talk about these men who purposely trying to get women pregnant on purpose just so they can have that connection and just to keep that connection and that control towards that woman. It happens all the time, but nobody talks about it. But I don't know. I just think that, I know the whole vetting process can be, a lot of people have their own opinion when it comes down to vetting. People can wear masks. People can manipulate, yes. But I think we need to start just educating ourselves on certain things, especially when it comes down to narcissism. I know the narcissistic word is being tossed around a lot, but I'm actually happy that it is. I don't care. I don't care because love bombing, um, trauma bonding, all that, like it's always happened. I'm happy narcissism, um, is a topic that's really been being heavy because I think narcissism is heavy in the black community. I'm sorry, and I'm not just talking about men who are narcissistic because you have a lot of narcissistic women out here too. I mean, I was raised by a narcissist, but um, you know, everybody stay safe, especially to my women, black women, stay safe. Um, continue our healing and setting our boundaries and putting ourselves first, protecting our peace. And yeah, y'all have a good one.